Welcome back to episode 3 of our Stoic Transition series, based on the Stoic Transition by Ken Davenport. Before we dive into today's topic, how did you get on with the homework from episode 2? You were asked to reflect on the four Stoic virtues: courage, temperance, justice and wisdom. So which one came easiest to you, and which one do you feel needs more attention? For me, I reflected on how often I applied courage in my own transition, particularly when I handed in my notice at MPCT, knowing it was time to step into something new. But let's move on. Today we're talking about Rule 1, find your way. A core Stoic discipline that focuses on desire. Specifically, what do we actually need to feel fulfilled in life? The discipline of desire. What do we really need? This chapter starts with one of the most powerful questions you'll get in your transition. What's your why? Ken explains that finding your why isn't a simple test you can answer overnight. It's about understanding what drives you, what gives you purpose. This is a difficult concept, especially for those of us who have been in the military or blue light services, where your purpose is often clear. You know why you're getting up every day: for duty, for service, for your team. But once you step out of uniform, it's a bit harder to define. This chapter is a wake-up call. If you don't take the time to discover your personal why, you risk spending too much time focusing on what you do and how you do it, without asking the key question: why am I doing this? I had my own experience with this when I transitioned from the army to MPCT. I still wore a uniform and worked in a structured environment. But when I moved to Gloucestershire College, it was a true wake-up moment. I had no rank, no uniform, no role-based identity to cling to. I had to figure out my why, what truly drove me beyond the uniform. Finding the why. Ken talks about 3 questions he used to discover his own why. 1. What do I love to do? What inspires me to do the things I love? And do these things make an impact on others? For me, it's about helping others. My desire to work with veterans, my drive to support people through transition, and my passion for education are all tied into my why. The satisfaction I get for mentoring others, guiding them through what I've learned, is what gives me purpose in my post-service life. But the journey to finding your why isn't quick. It takes trial and error. And that's exactly what Ken describes. I spent years thinking my why was about finding a career that matched my military skills. But I quickly realised that wasn't the true fulfilment I was seeking. Just like in John's The Making of a Hunter, the journey of self-discovery takes time. It's not always clear at first, but each step gives you more data to figure out who you are and what your next purpose will be. The golden circle, understanding why. In this chapter, Ken also introduces Simon Sinek's concept of the golden circle, a framework companies use to communicate their value. The most successful companies don't just talk about what they do and how they do it, they start with the why. So think about Apple. Why? Everything they do is about challenging the status quo and thinking differently. How? They create beautifully designed and user-friendly products. What? They make laptops, tablets and phones. Ken asks, how does this apply to you? And it made me think of what's my personal golden circle. What do I get up in the morning and do what I do? For me, it's about service, teaching, helping others, and these are the core of my work, even though the job titles might have changed over time. And if you're in the British Armed Forces or Blue Light Services, you're probably used to having a built-in why. You know why you're serving, but once you transition, the why disappears and you need to find your own now. And that's what Ken's suggesting here. Don't just look for the next job. Find something that aligns with your true why. So how to find out your why? Ken offers 3 tools to help you find your why. 1. Start to journal. Writing things down can help clarify thoughts and identify patterns. I've been using journaling as a tool in my own journey, particularly when I was navigating my transition. Journaling helped me work through feelings of uncertainty and get clarity on where I was heading. As Marcus Aurelius said, a well-ordered mind starts by examining what's going on in your life. 2. Learn to wander. This one resonated with me deeply. Sometimes we're too focused on the next step, the next job, the next promotion. But sometimes the answer comes when you just step back and wander, literally and metaphorically. For me, taking time to walk, think, reflect has been a huge part of discovering my why. 3. Drink coffee. Ken talks about how meeting people over coffee and asking about their work and passions can help. Your homework. Here's your homework for this episode. Reflect on the 3 questions Ken suggests and write down your answers. 1. What do I love to do? 2. What inspires me to do the things I love? 3. Do the things make an impact on others? Look at your golden circle. How would you define your why? What do you want to be known for? In the next video, we'll dive into Rule 2, your past is present. We'll explore how everything you've done before, your experiences, your challenges, your service, continues to shape who you are today, and how embracing your past gives you strength for the future. Until then, stay grounded, stay curious, and keep seeking your true why. Remember, it's not about where you've been, it's about where you're going. See you later. Bye-bye.